If you'd like to see more of our videos, please subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMtrading. Today's February 11th, 2020, and today is Tuesday morning. So looking at the major economic events of the day, out of Great Britain this morning, we have a preliminary quarterly GDP numbers coming out at 11:30 South African time, and then later today we have a few speaking engagements, but the most important one is at 5 p.m. South African time. Fed Chairman Powell will be testifying, and that's in relations to the last interest rate decision. Now, looking at the markets, okay, we see the euro actually breaking lower, closing in on yearly support, okay, which is really important, close to that 109-ish level. Now looking at the Dow Jones, and bounces right back from 29,000 to 300. We'll take a look at some of the stocks that are leading the way. And looking at the commodities, gold as a result slides while oil is sitting on support. Okay, we're going to take a look at a couple of options there. And lastly, looking at the stocks, it happens once again. Amazon, Google, Microsoft, all breaking to record highs. But let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So we're taking a look here at the Euro USD at a daily chart. Okay, and this really represents the entire year. And you see back in September, we hit this low of 108.92-ish level. We're only about 20 pips away from that. Okay, so if this does break this area, we could see it further decline. Now, how much further could it decline? Then we got to go to a multi-year chart. And right here, you can see quite clearly, you could get back to this 107 and 105 on the extreme case. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but on the extreme case. Now, GBP is remaining a little bit more buoyant on a hourly chart. You see, it hasn't broken down to its lows. I guess they're waiting for this preliminary quarterly GDP numbers coming out, and then we'll have a little bit more clarity as to which way this will go. Now, jumping into the commodities, okay, we're looking at gold sliding from 1570-ish level to 1567. Okay, not much of a retracement, but again, it's trading really between our upper limit and lower limit, right smack in the middle. Okay, right there in the middle. It hasn't really broken above, hasn't really broken higher, so there's a little bit of how should I say it, a little bit of timidness in the market. People are not overly pessimistic, but people are also not overly optimistic, and that's why gold is remaining buoyant for now. Now, jumping into oil, okay, we saw it actually bounce, and then it did retrace. Now, I did mention that the other day. Now, basically, it falls to this, okay, if this breaks this $50 range, okay, which we are closing in on the weekly inventory numbers for oil, if that does break right there, okay, and most likely it will, whenever it happens, okay, then we could see a further correction for the price of oil. We haven't been in this area for quite some time, and this is really very important because it has made a correction really just because everything that's happening in China, because everything is at standstill, and that means less consumption of oil and production is still being met. So with that said, this is something to look at as we, continue the week. Now, looking at the Dow Jones, right back to close to its highs, okay, to 29,329, about 100 points off. Now, yesterday we saw the NASDAQ make all-time new highs, okay? And that's really because of what's happening with the stocks, okay? I've mentioned this a dozen times. Look at Amazon, like a beast. Gap up and go, okay? If we look at a weekly chart, just, unbelievable. I did mention this earlier this week. As it came out with quarterly reports, it did beat its quarterly reports, but didn't give it to us right away. But this is, the hat is out of the box, right? When this happens right here, that's a clear breakout, and that means that it's going to go further. Now, I don't know when the top is going to happen. Okay, I'm not that smart. But right now, I know that the markets are still strong. Until they prove to me that they're weak, they're still strong. And this rotation has continued. Looking at Google, same story. All-time highs. If we look at a daily chart, you can see that even clearer as we broke into all-time highs. Okay, this is major stocks. This is not like, a small stock, a small company where they float very small amount of shares, and then people could just whipsaw the market depending how they want to. These are major corporations, okay, with a lot of shares out there. And with that said, this is bona fide buying. And I've said this for the past 2 years, and I'll continue to say it. Okay, it's really been a very strong market. Now, looking at Microsoft, also 188.59, all-time highs here as well. Tesla is, extending its highs, but the question is how much further this is going to happen. This will correct itself. It's just a matter of when. So again, the focus is the stock market, okay? Look at the stocks. They're trading much better than the Forex symbols are, surely better than the commodities are. Really, most of the activity right now, if you focus your time and you focus your energy, is really on the stocks. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish everybody a great trading day. Thank you.